How's that? Sorry about that. Welcome to my photography shopping live stream where we go online together and look for deals. And today, of course, is the start of Amazon Prime Day. So I've been looking for deals all morning since about 4 a.m. to find some of the better deals that are happening now. And I over time I see these things kind of go in waves. Prime Day is uh, really best for finding the product that you want on sale because the 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 number of deals going on are pretty widespread. So by that I mean, anything that you want to get on Amazon, this is now is the time to get it, whether it's, camera gear, of course, and accessories or uh, Amazon devices or, electronics and clothes and, just everything on Amazon is pretty widespread. So the breadth of the deals are quite extent. The the deal in of itself sometimes is the best deal you'll get all year. Sometimes it's a good deal, uh, that there's no reason to wait. Just get it. You could maybe get it a little cheaper later on, but time is money too, right? So just get it now. And then some deals are just a little bit misleading, like it looks like it's a good deal, but it's really not. You can get a better deal almost on and off every other week or something. A good example of that are like lens filters, like polarizers, ND filters. Those kind of things go on sale every 3 to 4 weeks, and you can usually get a really good deal anytime. They just put it out today as a prime deal, uh, and just call it a prime deal because it's prime deal day, right? So what I try to do is find deals kind of across all categories, like maybe the best deal of the year, maybe a really good deal now, no reason to wait, even if you might save a few bucks later. And then other deals that are not things that are not always on sale, rarely on sale, but the prices come down and it's actually a pretty good deal. And you don't need to wait for a sale either. Even if it's not on sale, it's a pretty good deal. So, what I'd like you guys to do is if you're looking for something specific, or, let me know in the comments. I saw someone want to talk about tripods, so we'll get into that. I can give you a lot of tips on tripods, depending on what you want to do. So we'll talk extensively about that. Uh, and also, disclosure, I am an affiliate for Amazon and B&H and eBay and KEH, all the usual suspects. So if you do use any of my affiliate links, and I have some of them down below, I will earn a commission. And it's greatly appreciated because I do run my streams, or I am running my streams this month at least, ad free to see how it goes. So I'm going to rely on, affiliate link sales and donations, memberships, things like that, to survive here on YouTube. So anything you can do in that respect is greatly appreciated, but also just subscribing, clicking the like button, especially participating in the chat is also a really great way to support the work that I do here. Just being here is showing your support, which I also appreciate. So thank you everyone for coming in today, and I see we have a good group. Uh, Let me just get through some of the chat. Kevin Hawthorne, good to see you, and thank you for sending those links to my email. I did watch a couple of the videos, really interesting. I'm very impressed with your memorization skills. Um, Kevin is sort of a little bit of celebrity there in Hawthorne, a local celebrity, I should say. And Michael, good to see you. And Wands Olaf, okay, we'll get into some tripods. I bought a tripod today, and I'll show you that one. And Marcia, good to see you. And Paul, happy Prime Day. And let's see, Robert's here. Good to see you, Robert. I do have some deals for your Nikon camera. And Paul, good to see you. And Jeff, always good to see you. ATR Bear and Darko and Juliet, good to see you. I posted some pictures for you with my OM3 and 75 to 300 lens on my Flickr page because I know you were thinking about that lens. It's not on sale right now, so don't get it now. Just wait till it gets down to $399 again if you haven't bought it already, because it was on sale like a week ago, but now it's not. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go over some of the initial deals that I found and recommendations, and then we'll get into if you guys are looking for anything specific, or I can get into more detail about certain items. Um, so again, I have a link down below to my Rob Trek handpicked deals page. And I'm trying to beef up. Let me just make sure. Let me move this over here. Make sure my audio is still good. Okay. So I'm trying to beef up my Amazon page in of itself, which is just this link here. I'll put this into the chat section. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to categorize. So I got handpicked deals here: Nikon, Canon, Sony, tripods, OM systems, laptops, and then just miscellaneous like flash, studio portrait, and a lot of little things like lens hoods and adapters and things like that in this category. I'll get this a little bit. I'll polish this up a little bit more over time, but this is the best I could do for today. But let's go into today's deals. So uh, there's all the like the Viltrox 7 Artisans, TT Artisans lenses are on sale right now. These are really as good a deal as you're going to get all year. May not be the very best deal, but it's pretty close, if not the best deal you're going to get all year on all of these lenses. For Micro Four Thirds, the only ones I could find that were decent were manual focus lenses. And if we're talking about wide angle lenses, and those are the ones that I picked here, the 17, the 10, and the 7.5. Manual focus is not a big deal. Just put the lens at 5.6 and everything's in focus. Okay, you don't have to worry about that. Well, maybe not the 17. The 17 1.4. This is a great little lens, and it's on sale for the other mounts as well. But just keep in mind, this is an APS-C lens if you're thinking about your Nikon, Fuji, Sony. You can use it on full frame cameras in APS-C mode, or you're going to get some heavy vignetting, which is, kind of cool too if you want to get creative. But this is a great lens. It's very fast at 1.4, and for the price, you can't complain. Really, it's not super clinical sharp, but it's really a great option to get this lens versus say trying to find something like this on the used market, like a vintage lens. This will give you vintage characteristics, meaning it's a tiny bit soft, wide open. The bokeh is going to be a little busy, and there might be some swirliness to it. But a lot of as a creative choice, and at this price point, this is an excellent lens to get you started. And it's the kind of lens that you just have fun with. I wouldn't use it on a paid job or anything, but for 111 bucks, you're not going to see much better deals than that anytime. Another lens, the TT Artisans 10mm f2. This is also available in other mounts, and it works very well. On Micro Four Thirds, this is pretty much sharp corner to corner, even wide open. Of course, stopping it down, you get a little better performance, but this is a very, very good lens. I reviewed this lens for the Fujifilm system, and on APS-C, it is a little bit softer in the corner, so I probably wouldn't use this for paid jobs or astrophotography. You could use it for astro because it is very fast, but just be conscious that on APS-C, I noticed the corners were just a little bit soft. However, on Micro Four Thirds, this is a great focal length, wide angle, fast. It's great for astrophotography, and it's rectilinear, meaning you're not going to get a fisheye effect. You're going to get nice straight lines with this lens. So, $135. I can recommend this lens all day long. And let's see, this is another lens I reviewed, $111. This has a mild fisheye effect on Micro Four Thirds, meaning you're going to get kind of bowing at the top and bottom. If you back up, if you're doing a landscape, it's very easy to correct. If you're standing very close to very tall buildings, it's a little harder to correct if you want to. If you intend to correct straight lines, it's a little bit more difficult. But for doing astrophotography, wide field, this is a perfect lens. It's actually very sharp. It's not on the level of, say, the 8mm fisheye pro lens from OM Systems, but that's $1,000 lens. But for $111, I cannot complain about the sharpness and performance of this lens at all, especially at f2. It's still very, very good. Very limited coma. Uh, they did a really good job on this lens. And again, the fisheye distortion is pretty nominal. I'm not sure if I have any on my Flickr page specifically. Let me see. I may have reviewed this lens before I started categorizing my Flickr page. Let's see if anything comes up. Yeah, I don't have any. There's some other examples here. What, like this one. This is the TT Artisans on a APS-C camera. I don't know why it's not coming up. Let's see. Oh, okay, now it's up. So this is the lens on an APS-C camera. A Micro Four Thirds is going to come in even a little bit tighter. But yeah, this is an example of, like, if you're doing buildings kind of close up, you want the fisheye effect. Trying to straighten this is going to be a wreck. It's going to be too hard. Uh, same goes for Micro Four Thirds. But for landscapes, if you're much further out, you'll see very, very minor distortion, and it's very easy to correct, like astrophotography, for example. Okay, and then next up, there are a couple of Viltrox lenses here. This is an excellent lens and they have it in various mounts down here, I believe. No, they're not showing it here. But this is available in other mounts other than Fuji. But this is a great alternative to the Sigma 56 1.4 lens. This lens will get you, is very, very sharp. It's very compact and lightweight. And the autofocus is perfectly fine. I reviewed this lens for the Fujifilm system, and it was awesome. And right now it's on sale for $144. That is a great deal. No need to buy the Sigma 1.4. Just get this lens. This lens is actually a little better in some ways in the corners than the Sigma version wide open. So I can highly recommend this lens. Unfortunately, they don't make it for Micro Four Thirds. Another lens that's very good here. This is for the Nikon, $103 for 20, and this is for APS-C, if I'm not mistaken. So just be conscious. This is for the Nikon ZFC, Z50, Z30. This will give you 40mm equivalent focal length at f2.8. It's awesome. With autofocus, very compact, small. So this is perfect for, like, the Nikon ZFC, uh, to make it street ready for street photography. And $103, you can't go wrong. I've spent more on filters than this lens costs. Okay. So if you have a Nikon camera, I can recommend that lens. And let's see, another interesting lens. This lens, the aperture is fixed at 4.5, and this is ideal for, like, the Sony A7C series of cameras, the A7C2, the A7CR, full frame, 28mm focal length, perfect for street photography, plenty of depth of field. This lens, I'm pretty sure I do have some images on my Flickr. Let me just check. Let me just double check. Flickr's slow today. No, I don't. I have the Brighton Star 28. But this will give you an idea of the field of view for 28 millimeters. Uh, it's a really excellent focal length for micro four thirds, APS-C. I'm sorry, for APS-C and full frame, because you'll get again the 40 millimeter on APS-C and 28 millimeters on full frame, and it's an awesome. I don't know why Flickr is slow today, but you know, um, let me close these down. And this is tiny. This lens is really tiny. It's almost like a body cap, but it's very sharp and it's autofocus. So definitely, I at $79. Okay, and it's available for Sony and Nikon also. So you just go to this page, then search for the Viltrox. What I like to do is I like to just copy this, right click, say copy, and then just paste it in here. And then you'll get all the variations of this. So there's Sony, Sony, Sony. There should be a Nikon one in here. Here's the Nikon one. Uh, same deal. So I add that to the Rob Trek Deals page. Okay, let's go to one more lens here. 25 millimeter f2 for micro four thirds. It's also available for other APS-C mounts like Fujifilm and Nikon, maybe even Canon. But let's see what we got here. So there's the Nikon version, 64. It's not on sale. Here's the micro four thirds. Sony's on sale as well. This is a manual focus lens. So the field of view is going to be 50 millimeter equivalent, your Nifty 50, $51. It's about $1 per millimeter. And it's an f2, so it's very fast. And this lens is actually really sharp, especially stop down, even down to 2.8. I have this lens somewhere from my Fujifilm, but on a micro four thirds, it'll be even better. And it's a pancake size, perfect for like any micro four thirds camera, perfect for the Fuji X-T5, X-E4, all of the Fuji cameras, X-T3. I would use this on an X-T3 all day long. And then also really good on the Nikon ZFC, Z50. These kind of cameras, this is a perfect lens for. Really great focal length. On APS-C, again, you're going to be getting about 38 millimeter equivalent. So it'll be semi-wide angle on a APS-C. But yeah, it's a great lens. Manual focus, $51. Okay, so I'm going to stop here and just take a look at the chat, and then we'll get into the next set of deals here. Um, so the question is, do we go to the Rob store on Amazon, or is it a code even in Canada? So yeah, you would just go to my store. It goes to the US store, though. I don't have a Canada store. That said, uh, if you click on, let me give that some thought. There is a way to kind of for me to get commissions if you're shopping in other countries indirectly. So, for example, what I'll do is I'll click on this lens that we were just looking at. Let me get a link. The 25 millimeter 7 Artisans. Or TT Artisans, excuse me. Okay, so if you click on that link, it should take you to the store that's appropriate for your country. It should automatically redirect. If it doesn't, so be it, Uh, Doesn't matter. Okay, so what matters is you get the good deal, right? Not that I make a dollar off of whatever you guys buy here. Uh, 'Cause that's my goal is really to save you guys as much money and steer you in the right direction for these sort of entry level budget products. Let's see, and then Anthony says you're looking for an Arca Swiss L bracket for your own one Mark II. The only one I can find is one by I think it's Really Right Stuff on B&H. Otherwise, you have to buy a generic one. In which case, getting access to the battery door, things like that. But let me show you one made just for the all-in-one. Uh, 1 second. There's a couple other generic ones here. A three-legged thing. So there's ones like this, right? These are $99. There's the one from Really Right Stuff. This one is a full bottom plate. I recommend this one, even though it costs more. This one gives you the full bottom plate protection, whereas this one sort of stops where the battery door is. But either one works great. But if you want to leave something on your camera all the time, having a full bottom plate is a lot more useful. And they come with like a little magnetic Allen wrench key that's in the bottom. I don't know. My own one is somewhere. Oh, I'm using it right now. Otherwise, I'd show you how it looks on mine. It's pretty thick though. It's like a centimeter in height. So these are very, very solid, and we'll add some heft to your camera. So I'll put a link to both of these. Let me get my affiliate link here. So there's that one. This is on B&H. These are also my affiliate links. And then here's the one for OM System. And these aren't in stock all the time. So if you want one, it's a good time to get it, even though they're not on sale. Uh, so there's the two. Let me just take a quick look on Amazon. See if they have. Yeah, they just have the generic ones here. Ooh, Hogue has a really good grip. I gotta add this to my deal page. I missed this. Oops. Uh, this will give your OM3 a grip and an Arca Swiss plate on the bottom, plus a full plate on the bottom will protect the bottom of the camera. $36 on sale. This is it's not like the half leather case that I got for mine. I got mine mainly for the aesthetics, but this is an excellent deal. If you don't care about the half leather case part, this will give you the grip, and in addition to that, an Arca Swiss plate, because the one that I have doesn't have the Arca Swiss plate. But yeah, I don't see any. Yeah, I guess there's this one. But yeah, they want $175 here. It's better to just go to B&H to get it. And then let's see. Marco's here. Hey, Marco, good to see you. Oh yeah, Jerry. Yeah, that was sad. Yeah, I cried a lot too. Oh, my heart goes out to Roberto and Jerry. Jerry was a great dog. Let's see. And then Juliet says, I saw those images and wanted to clarify that I have that. Oh, you do? Okay. Okay, great. Great. I didn't know you already had it. I thought you were looking to buy it. And Juan says in Spain the 75 to 300 is four. Yeah, that's a good deal. That's a good deal. On a rare occasion, you might see it for less, but that's at that price, no reason to wait. Just get it. Definitely. And thank you, Juliet. You like those pictures? Okay. And there's Anthony's. And then are there third party battery grips for the Z6? If you're talking about the Z6 Mark One, there should be by now. Let me just take a good look. Nikon Z6 uh, battery grip. Oh, the Z6, the Mark One. They're probably gonna have to come up with one that goes inside the battery door because I don't think the Z6, the Mark One, has any contact pins on the bottom, but they do, and it's on sale. This one here, let's just open that for now. This is for the Mark II, but I assume you have the Mark One because you didn't say Mark II or III. These are for the Mark IIs. So let's see. Uh, compatible with Z6, okay. The key is, does it allow you to put two batteries in or just one? Oh, that's interesting. It even has a shutter button. Let me just check. I'm trying to figure out why do they have a cable running in? I don't see a shutter button, so what's that cable for? So you can put a battery there, and you can put two batteries in. That's key, right? What would be the point if you can only put one battery? You got to be able to have two batteries in there. So this is it. Uh, $56. Oh, there's the shutter button. Okay. So this is a little bit awkward, right? Because there's no contact pins on the on the Z6 and Z7, the Mark Ones. They're going around it by adding a cable that goes into your camera so that you can use it vertically with the shutter button. So there's that. But I guess that would be optional, right? If you just want dual batteries, you don't need to activate the shutter button. So let me give you the link to this one. Okay, 55.99. And see if there's anything else here. The TT Artisan 75 1.5 is also on sale for $58. What? I mean, I don't think I've seen this lens. That's a new one to me. Where are you finding it for $58? I see $58. Oh, on sale for $58 off. Okay. So we're talking about this lens, M42, M42. You'd have to get an M42 adapter, but uh, that's why it didn't come up. I wasn't looking for M42. Oh, this is a really good lens. They don't make it for for this is a full frame. I got to add this to my list. And then, but the this lens here, that's interesting. So it's in black and white. I'll add this to my. I've not used this lens. The problem with this lens on Micro Four Thirds is 150 millimeter equivalent, and I have the 75 1.8. I would kind of steer you towards an autofocus version because trying to manually focus basically a short telephoto is not that straightforward. It's not as easy to M4H3. But you would need to get one of these adapters like this. This is a pretty high quality one. Here's a more generic one. Just get the generic one. Uh, I'll add this to the list. So I've bought oh here's a good one. This is really good too. Um, it's about the same price, but this is a little bit higher quality one. So I have bought like the high end version and the generic version, like the one here, and I've also bought like one of these. And the main difference is really in I would I noticed that the generic ones don't mount to the camera on and off quite as smooth. The tolerances aren't quite as precise. Whereas when I bought the higher end version, when I twisted that onto the mount, it just slipped right on, no play in it at all. I mean, it was a perfect fit. So there is a subtle difference, even though they cost a little more. There's also some additional, like they use a flatter base paint inside, so there's less reflections going on. You don't have to worry about that so much uh, with some lenses, but with other lenses, like a telephoto, that could be a little bit of an issue. So, uh, but if you use a lens hood, it's not a big deal. But I have seen reflections off of the cheaper one in certain situations, whereas I didn't get that so much on the higher end ones. But it's like 99% of the time you'll never be able to tell the difference. It's just in that one time it's like, oh, okay, I see why this is happening, that kind of thing. So there's that. Thank you, Paul, for bringing that up. If you guys see any other deals I missed, let me know. But not sure. So Julia said, you tested the 28 4.5 and very pleased. I return it, but will buy on your link. It's great for the ZF. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Julia. It is a great lens. It's one of the few lenses I kept that I actually, because they send me lenses to review and then trade them in and get other stuff. But this one I kept because I love the compact size, the performance of it in terms of optical quality. The ratio of size to optical quality is huge. I mean, it's like the quality is way up here and the price is down here and the size is down here. It's like there's no better value for a 28 millimeter lens right now. Given all the limitations it has for 80 bucks, you can't beat it. Okay, and then Marcus says the 25 f2 would look sexy on the OM3 or Pen. Yes, definitely. Very, very nice lens. Nice and compact. And the Gray Vanzini's here. Good to see you. And I'm almost done with the chat. Then we'll go back into shopping. The Canada store doesn't have as near as much available and not available with such good discounts. Yeah, I know. Australia is really bad too. I don't know if anybody's here from Australia, but sometimes you guys pop in and yeah, I have a hard time. I emailed one person back and forth trying to find a deal on a tripod, and it was really hard on the Australian website. And I wasn't earning any commission, and we spent like a week on just trying to find a tabletop tripod. They ended up finding a much better deal on their own through some local Australian store, but Julia says, I'm looking for accessories for the OM3, but not sure if anything's on sale. What would you recommend? Okay, I will give you some recommendations there. And please tell me yeah, I wish. I would buy another one if I did. And then just a little feedback here. Robert has a 75 1.5 for M42. Love using it for artistic creative shots. Works great on my ZF. Okay. Yeah, if you have a full frame camera, it makes more sense. That lens makes a lot more sense on full frame cameras because it's already tight at 75 millimeters. And then if you crop in on that with other cameras, it's not an easy lens to work with. Uh, but okay, so the OM3. So I showed you the grip already, right? The OM3 grip. Uh, how come it's not here? There's a few grips in here. This one, and there's also one with a wood. And I'll talk about these. Here's one with the half leather case. I'm not going to recommend that one. All right, let's talk about these three. This one is great uh, for two reasons, okay? Well, three. One is it has the Arca Swiss plate on the bottom. So you can mount this directly to your tripod if it's an Arca Swiss plate tripod or clamp, right? That is invaluable time saver, and you never have to take this off to remove the battery or to mount it onto your tripod. It's going to be very, very solid. Also, because it's a full base plate, it covers the entire bottom of the camera. It also makes the camera more durable when you are mounting it to tripods because the weight is now distributed across the bottom. In addition to that, it has a separate quarter 20 screw. So if you want to mount your camera or attach anything to the camera, you don't have to attach it to the camera's own quarter 20 thread tripod thread. You can attach it to the base plate's tripod thread. And if you over tighten something or strip it, you can just buy another plate. If you do that to your OM3 and strip the tripod thread on that, you're in a world of hurt. You have to send it in to get it fixed. So a $36 or $50, whatever it is, this is a much better way to go. Okay, and aesthetically, it looks fine. I don't see any, you know, I don't see any issues there. But here they're showing how you can mount it directly to an Arca Swiss plate or clamp, which is invaluable. And it does add a little bit of heft to the camera. Okay, this one is the same thing, but the Arca Swiss part is only in the middle. Okay, but it's a little bit fancier, right? Silver base plate matches the camera better. The little wood accent gives it a little bit of vintage feel to it. And I would argue it's actually even more comfortable. The grip on this is a little bit large though, for my taste. If they have a different angle, it's a little bit large for my taste, but it is more comfortable, right? There's always trade-off. Do you want smaller size? It's not as comfortable, or do you want larger, more comfortable, but adds a little bit of bulk to your camera. And it's not a big deal once you put a grip on or a lens on your camera, it's irrelevant. And then let me look at let's see. This also has a separate quarter 20 screw, battery access, and full bottom plate, silver paint. So this is a nice option, but it's twice as much. I don't know. I don't know. I'd get the other one unless I really wanted this particular style in terms of aesthetics. Okay, I have something very similar to this, a half leather case. I don't like this one too much because you'll notice that if you attach anything to this camera, you're going to attach it directly to the tripod screw mount. Now, in this case, double layered, meaning it has its own tripod screw mount, and that screw mount usually has its own thread. This is a headache in real life. Battery access is also a little bit of a headache here. And there's no Arca Swiss plate, so you're going to have to attach your own separately, and it makes it very awkward. And there's no additional grip like protrusions. So I don't recommend this particular half leather case unless all you do is hang the camera around your neck. Then this will offer some nice protection to the camera, and you're fine that way. But if you're going to ever use this on a tripod or want to attach any accessories, it's a little bit of a problem. So to show you the one that I have, this one I got on eBay. It's a little hard to get these on eBay now because of tariffs and things. But this has a relatively small protrusion for the grip. It also has a separate 1/4-20 screw, right? And I like the styling with the white stitching here. What it does not have is an Arca Swiss plate here. So I had to attach my own, as you can see. But I have a very thin one here, so it doesn't really protrude out. It's fine. And it doesn't block the battery door. So this is the route that I went, although it's not quite as easy as the first one that was $36. The $36 one is better than this one in terms of being practical. It's a much better grip than this one. This one is not practical mainly because it doesn't have the Arca Swiss plate here. But other than that, it has everything. And because it has its own separate 1/4-20 thread, I don't have to worry about stripping my camera's 1/4-20 thread. I can mount any kind of plate here that I want. Uh, but I just kind of like the look of this particular leather case. So I went with this one, even though it didn't have the Arca Swiss plate, which is ironic because I do use tripods a lot. All right. Other accessories you need to get. It's not available yet, but the WRM2 WRM2 remote. Let's see. OM. Where is it? It's not even available. Okay, let me just warn you. None of these are going to work with the OM3. The only way to remote trigger the OM3 is with OM Systems remote. Hopefully somebody comes out with one like this, a third party one. This is actually a really good remote. I should add this to my deal page. Let me add that later. I bet B&H has it. Um, am I naming this wrong? OM System Remote. Yeah, WRMWR2. Yeah, I did call it wrong. You got to get this. Let's see if they have it on Amazon. Yeah, it's not even coming up on Amazon. So you have to go to B&H. There's no other way to remote release the OM System camera other than using the app. You can always use the app to remote trigger your camera. Uh, so there's that. But this is a little bit more polished experience, right? Because using a phone app, I hate using phone apps. They're just a pain. Okay, the only other thing I can recommend for your OM3 is a little pop-up flash and um, the pop-up flash and one other thing. let me go to my page here. This, 'cause I don't remember. I don't think mine came with the FLM3, if I recall. But I know the OM5 Mark II does not. This is a great deal. This flash, you can use it off camera because it comes with its own radio trigger. $39. You have to get this flash. If you don't have the FLM3, because this also tilts up in one direction, it doesn't point off to the sides, and it's relatively compact. Also has a video light, USB-C charging, so it doesn't drain any battery from your camera, and it's full manual. But what I like is that you can remove it. Let's see if they show a picture. Yeah, you can remove this off of the camera and do side lighting. This is really good for close-up photography like flowers and bugs and macro. This is an awesome deal. I'm thinking about getting this myself. Because a lot of times, I have small flashes like this IT30, but you can't use those off camera without a trigger. I mean, this flash is like $80, and then you buy another trigger for another 70 or $80. This is $40 or 39.19. I highly recommend this. Uh, and it's getting decent reviews, 4.3 stars, 23 reviews, so that's pretty good. So there's that. And then, uh, what was the other thing I was going to recommend? Those are the ones I use the most. Oh, strap. Okay. The strap that comes with the camera is not bad. What I'd recommend is you get these. Uh, I use it on my other cameras because I bought dedicated straps for my OM3. But just get these things. This is a generic one, and you can plug in your own OM system strap with these, and then you can take it on and off very easily. So this is the way to go, and these are pretty strong. You don't have to worry about them breaking or coming off, your camera falling off. Okay, these are very, very sturdy. Uh, where's a camera that has that? Where's my here's one. Where's my other camera? I don't know. But here's what it looks like. I bought this set, and you just strap your existing strap into it, and then I'm using a thin strap here. This is for my Leica. Uh, this one. So this is what it looks like, but it would be the same thing on an OM3, right? Like this, and then this strap. So, and they sell wrist strap versions that you can attach to these and stuff. So it's versatile. But $8.50 for generic. It's not the actual Peak design, but it's compatible with Peak design. So if you have a Peak design strap already, you can use that. Okay. Um, now, oh, these are awesome. If you want a tiny Arca Swiss plate, that's what I use on my Leica. Look how small that is. It's barely noticeable. I need to get a couple more. I love these things. Because if you look at like these are super cheap, but they're thick. These are really oh crap. These are really thick. Uh, and bulky on your camera. But this thing is like you don't even see it on the camera almost, right? These are great. This is what I want to use on my OM3. That's why I need to get a couple more rather than the plate, because the plate I have on there is nice and thin, but this is even thinner and smaller. So I'm going to get this. Uh, like I said, you want to mount this plate to a full body plate that doesn't have an Arca Swiss base. Like this is a half leather case for my Leica, but it didn't have an Arca Swiss plate on the bottom. So that's why I added this, and it adds no bulk to the camera at all. And I can mount this to a tripod now. And we'll talk about tripods next. So I'm going to get that myself. So yeah, I paid $20, but it's on sale now for $4 off. I'll take it. Okay. Um, Let me just take, and question was, I'll use the app for the remote trigger. Is the flash on? Yes, the flash is on my page. You just have to scroll down a bit. It's right here. Right here. About a third of the way down. That is a great little flash. All right. I'm going to check one or two more things. Yeah, it's the Deluxe 8. Yep. And those buckles are nice, but some of them are a bit too hard to detach. They, I haven't had any problems, but I know what you mean. Yep. You know, I have small fingers, so it's easier for me to depress depress it down and take it out. Maybe that's why. I can imagine somebody with big fingers, it would be a little bit more awkward. Okay, but I've been buying straps. Like I bought so many straps. I like this one here from this is from K&F, but this I use on my Pentax monochrome. This because it's silver, so it kind of goes with that monochrome theme. I paid $25 for this strap, I think, or no, less than that. I paid 20. But typically a good deal is 25. It retails for like 50. I don't know. But it's a very, very good strap. It's very heavy. And then, all right, so Adam says, hold on to your credit card. You're funny. All right, so now let's talk about tripods real quick. I bought one today. Let me see if it's on my page. And I'm going to explain why I bought this tripod and this one right here, this Photo Pro carbon fiber. I bought this today. You can see July 8th. I've been looking at this tripod for a couple of months now, waiting for Prime Day, and it was worth it because I saved 40 bucks. This is the kind of item I don't have to buy right away. I can wait for a sale, and now is the time to get it. Now, you might look at this and think, okay, this is a video tripod. Yes, but this is more of a hybrid tripod because it has an inverted ball head here at the bottom. So why would I get something like this, say, versus they have a regular one here. This is a regular one with an inverted ball head. Same price. Get the one that has the video head or fluid head on it. It also compacts down nice and tight. Very slim profile in terms of girth, right? Don't do it. But yeah, very very good. So let me explain this. 30 millimeter ball head, so it's going to hold plenty of weight. For micro four thirds, up to a 300 millimeter f4, no problem with the size of this ball head. Um, so let me talk about this. This is because when to use it. Let's talk about when you use a tripod. Long exposure photography, clearly, astro, things like that, right? But also for panoramas. If you want to do panoramas, this is the perfect tripod. If you don't do panoramas, maybe you can get something a little smaller, because this is a little bit taller overall because of the fluid head. But everybody does panoramas at some point, and you'll do them a lot more and a lot more accurately with less stitching errors with a fluid head, ball head, inverted ball head, specifically combination here. Let me show you the contraption I have now to do this. I have this. It's here. Hold on. I already disassembled it. This fluid head. Okay, the indexer doesn't count, so I'm not going to pull that out. But this is kind of like what I have to do now. I have to kind of attach all of these things together. Don't even get me started on an indexer. But this is kind of what I do now. So I have a leveling base right here to level. And then I have a rotator here to rotate along that particular horizontal plane. And then the fluid head allows you to tilt up and down. This is no joke, all right? And I got to put this on top of my existing tripods, which is what I've been doing. But with this tripod, it's all in one. Look how compact that is, right? This tripod weighs like less than 1.5 kilos. Did they put the weight here? I don't put the weight here, but it's probably right around, oh, here, 1.34 kilos. This thing is 1.34 kilograms. It's lightweight. All right. This is how I have to do it now. And it's like about $30 for this, another $20 for this, and then the fluid head's another $40 to $100. I just, this costs as much as the freaking tripod. I don't even have the legs for this yet. Anyway, so why do you go through all that to make a pano? Because if you're just doing panos left to right, say you take 3 shots, okay, you don't need to get carried away like that with that setup. You can do that with a ball head practically. However, if you want to do multi-row panos, this is the best way to do it because you can level it and then you can rotate it along that level part. And then when you go to the next row, the fluid head allows you to tilt along that same horizontal axis or plane, and then do 3 shots this way, and then go up, do 3 shots this way, go up again, do 3 shots this way. And what you're going to end up with is a perfect panorama stitching, okay? With no like power lines or whatever, tree lines, horizon lines, whatever, intersecting in the wrong places. And one other thing you need is a nodal rail. I'll talk about that in a minute. So that's why I'm getting this tripod. But because it's an inverted ball head, let's see if they have a picture. Yeah, there's a picture here. You can turn the camera. You can use the camera. You can use this tripod just like a regular ball head tripod. No limitations. Full 90-degree tilt for vertical portrait style. And then, full 90 degrees in any, in 2 directions. And then a regular ball head otherwise. There's no reason not to get this. To have the functionality of being able to do multi-row panos. And this is a carbon fiber tripod by a good brand. PhotoPro is a very good brand. Lee Hoy. is an ambassador for this brand. He would not be an ambassador if he did not like this brand. So this tripod is kind of the ultimate all-in-one. Now, if you have a full frame camera with heavy lenses, this might be a little bit of a stretch, heavy telephoto lenses. Full frame cameras with like normal primes and smaller zooms, you'll be okay. 28 to 70, 70 to 200. That's pushing it a little, but because it's a 30 millimeter ball head, what do they claim the capacity here? 33-pound weight limit. Technically, yeah, it'll hold just about anything, but in practice, what's the point of what's the point of the tripod if it's not stable at 33 pounds? When you start getting near the limits, the stability is not quite, it's not ideal, right? Because your camera might droop a little bit if you didn't tighten it up enough. Things like that you can run into. So this thing is awesome. The only thing with this tripod, the only problem is I don't know if you can replace the fluid head or not, but it's an all-in-one. That's what makes it so compact and lightweight. But if you ever break the ball head or the fluid head, you have to buy a whole nother tripod because they don't sell these pieces separately. All right. But yeah, this I'm gonna get this on Friday. I think it's coming in on Friday. If not Friday, then next week. I went for the 7% because I use my Amazon card. I get another 1 or 2% off in rebate if you can wait. I can wait. I've been waiting a couple months already. I can wait another couple of days. So that's the tripod I bought. So I have on my page here, Amazon.com/shop/RobTrick as up here. I have a page for tripods. So here, if you want to do like I did and buy all the pieces individually, you can do that, right? You can get some very strong legs. These are very good legs. And this has a leveling base built in, but it's not very compact. The legs alone the legs alone are 1.75 kilos, and it's $189. This is an indexer. This is a fluid head, kind of. It's really a panoramic head. It's a dedicated panoramic head. Leofoto is a really good brand. That's why this is so expensive. But I put up here a generic one for $59, which will get you 90% there. Here's a leveling base. Leveling base, why is this? It's not available. All right. I should have another leveling base in here. Here's another one. This is another decent brand. Here, this is a good leveling base, and it has the rotator built in. So this is a 2-in-1, rotator and leveling base. I would only recommend going this route if you already have some awesome sticks. You already have an awesome tripod and you just want to add on a dedicated leveling base and panorama head. There's some options here. Uh, this is not a deal. Since we're on the subject of tripods, this is very, very small. It's only about this big. The picture is very deceiving. You can see the maximum weight here is only 9.92 pounds. But this ball head is perfect for like your OM5, OM3, EM10 for doing panoramas because it's an inverted ball head and a fluid head. This has dual access panning. So there's reasons for that I don't want to get into, but this thing is amazing. It's brand new. It just came out. So and this is a small base though. It's only about that big around. So you would use this with your smaller tripods. Uh, and you're not going to put much on here other than a micro four thirds camera or a lightweight camera with a lightweight prime. If you try to put a zoom lens or anything heavy on this, you're going to have to over tighten it to make it stay. And that defeats the point of using a tripod, right? But this is a wonderful ball head, fluid head, hybrid type head for photography and videography. But I look at it from a panoramic standpoint. This is the same idea, but from Ulanzi. You know, it's a ball head, leveling head, and fluid head. But this doesn't have the inverted ball head, so you're not going to be able to do like 90 degrees, like unless you have your Arca Swiss plates in a certain direction. It's awkward. Just I just put this on here because it does have a leveling base, a rotator, and a fluid head all in one. And some people like the Ulanzi brand. But what kept me from buying this is not a true inverted ball head. A true inverted ball head allows you to turn your camera full 90 degrees. This one does not. You can do it with the fluid head, but you can't do it with the ball head. So I recommend the Photo Pro over this one, but this gives you another option. Let's see, there's a Leaf Photo. And then just continuing the panorama thing, these are not quite as critical as they used to be. I still like to use them, but software is pretty good at fixing parallax errors. If you buy dedicated software like Panorama Pro or I forget the name of the other one. It's the big one too, and I can't remember the name because it's so expensive. The software takes care of this. Photoshop Lightroom does okay, but I still like to use this so I don't risk getting parallax errors in my panoramic stitching. Uh, so where's a couple of examples? Let me see. I have an album for the panoramas I've done. This is a good example of, man, Flickr. It's probably because I'm streaming at the same time. We'll wait for this to come up. All right. So this panorama is 30 images using the EM1 Mark II and 75 millimeter f1.8. But I can see every sprocket in this wheel, right? This valve. I can see every brick and window pane in this building. So that's just sort of a collage or close up, but the actual panorama is in here. It's one of the first ones I've done. This one. So this is 33,000 pixels by 9,700, 30 high-res shots. And you can punch in on this and see every fine detail. I forget, I think this is like a 5 by 6 panorama, multi-row panorama. I love doing panoramas. I just love them. So that's just one example. Okay. Other tripods, let me look at some budget ones. I just recommend that tripod, that one that from Photo Pro. Of all the tripods I'm going to show you, they're much cheaper, but that's the one I recommend. But it, if you're just getting started and you don't have a tripod and you don't want to spend a lot of money on a tripod, I do have a couple of options in here. Uh, this one here from Newer, 77 inches, $42 here. Okay. I wish they would list the dimensions a little bit clearer. Collapses down to 19 inches. And the extension, they don't really, what I like to do is I like to see where the base is. I would imagine the base is around 50 inches in this case. So it'll bring it up to about, I'm 5'8", it'll bring it up to my chest. And then you use the center pole to extend it even higher. $42. You can't beat this if you need the height. The other thing that's very important here are the legs, right? I mean, it's a metal ball head. You got to have a metal ball head. There are tripods at this price point that have plastic ball heads. That's a crime. This one here has a metal ball head, metal Arca-Swiss plate, metal Arca-Swiss clamp, metal legs, metal base for the legs, metal clips. This is all metal, basically. I think the knobs and stuff might be plastic, but that's irrelevant. This base plate right here, the base plate between the tripod and the ball head is plastic, I'm pretty sure. Not as critical though. What's critical here are right here, the legs. See if I can find a better picture. Yeah, they're there. These are flip lock, okay? If you're gonna buy a budget tripod, I'm now recommending flip locks. And this is why. The other type, the twist lock, where you just twist it to tighten, there's plastic shims inside the twist locks that break. Once that's broke, that's it. Your tripod is done. You can't use it anymore. And they use the cheapest plastic in those twist locks that, and you can't find replacement shims that go inside. This has happened to me twice. Okay, in my own personal experience, this has happened to me twice. When it happened the first time, I didn't sweat it too much. I mean, I was really upset, okay? But I figured, I'm just getting started. This is a cheap tripod. You know, I kind of just dealt with it. I bought another one. I said, okay, that's okay. These things are so cheap. When they break, you throw them away, you buy another one. So why go through that to begin with? Because that tripod, if it had the flip locks, I'd probably still be able to use it today for other things. Uh, the flip locks don't have this problem because it uses compression to tighten to hold the legs in place with the flip lock rather than the twist locks. So there's that tripod. Another tripod I have in here, I should have another one. Yeah, down in here. This is basically the same thing, but a little bit shorter. Flip locks, monopod option, metal ball head, metal legs. It's just a little bit shorter, okay? But it's a third the price or 25% less. This is also a very good entry-level tripod. Like I said, there are tripods with plastic ball heads and clamps at this price. Like I said, should be a crime. This is a very good deal, $30. And it's 74 inches, so it'll get up high enough. It's probably about 48 inches again. It'll probably come up to about here with the legs alone for maximum stability. This one's here not on sale, but if you miss Prime Day, you can get this one. What I like about this one, it also has spikes that you can swap out with. So that'll give you additional stability. But you're seeing a very common thing here. Metal ball head, metal Arca-Swiss plate and clamp, metal legs, metal clips, tripod option, and it's inverts for travel, right? This is one of those deals that I talked about in the beginning, that it's a good deal whether it's on sale or not. This is a very good value. The thing is, maximum height is 57 inches. So if we look at the chart here, again, they're not showing what it is to the base, or 42 inches. They're not showing. These people, they don't know how to make a diagram of a tripod. So I'm just giving you my best guess. It's probably closer to 40 inches in this case. It's not very tall. And then 57 inches with the extension. So this is a smaller tripod, but it'll get the job done. It's only $36. All right. This is, this tripod, this is just the base. There's no leveling plate. This tripod is better suited for like astrophotography because the base is very solid, very, very thick legs. I think these are 33 or 35 millimeter, uh, yeah, 32.5 millimeter tubes. So these have a little bit thicker tubes, so it's very, very stable. And it has probably a 65 millimeter base for the ball head. This is ideal for like heavier setups like this, where you got massive lenses, where you can put a big ball head on. You want very stable legs. This is an excellent deal. $135 for carbon fiber with 32, we'll just call it 33 millimeter tubes. This is going to be very, very stable, and this is an excellent price. Uh, Again, flip locks. These are full metal flip locks, not plastic. Those $30 and $40 tripods have plastic flip locks, okay? These are full metal flip locks, adjustable. Again, you don't have to worry about the little plastic shims that can break. Some of the higher end tripods, you can buy the shims directly from the manufacturer. But if you're buying a generic, newer K&F, whatever tripod, you're not going to find the shims, and the tripod is dead. This also has a very good height, 53. Um, where's is this another one that doesn't show you the full height? Oh, here it is. 62 inches. Okay. That's going to come to here on me. Perfect, perfect height. So if you just need a good set of sticks, this is an excellent deal and very high quality. Um, the Suray 284. This is a very compact tripod, very travel friendly, and yet has a very good maximum height. What I like about this tripod, carbon fiber, these are the higher end things, right? Carbon fiber, but it collapses very, very narrow. So it's very easy to pack in your bag, very easy to put in the side pocket of your backpack or underneath your messenger bag and the straps if it has straps on the bottom or on top. You know, you cannot underestimate the convenience of having a very narrow tripod like this. Very stable because there's no center column. It has an extension column, as you can see here, that you put on top if you want the extension. But this is going to be very, very stable. And it's a very good height. It says 59.8 inches. That's with the extension. The height without the extension tube is 1200 millimeters. So what's that? That's about 38, 39 inches, I'm guessing. Uh, let's see, 1200, 48 inches. Oh, wow. Okay. But the thing is, this has probably 25 millimeter tubes, so it's not going to be as stable or strong. And you're going to put your smaller ball heads on this. But this is really the ultimate travel tripod. You just have to get the right ball head. So if you get this tripod together with that other ball head I was showing you from Venro, I mean, you're out 250 bucks. This This ball head would be perfect with those legs. This would be perfect. Perfect travel panoramic setup. Okay, let me go to here. Let me see. Any other tripods down here I wanted to show you. Um, so we did this. Here's some bargain ones. This is in the same ilk. This is a pretty good deal. 77-inch for $35. Again, it's probably the same exact tripod I showed earlier that was $41. So I would get this one instead. Metal ball head, metal plate, metal clamp, metal legs, monopod option, inverts for convenient travel, right? $35. Mosisu is a decent brand. They're more known for backpacks and bags, but Mosisu is a decent brand as far as generic brands go. I call them, they're all generic to me, but that's a decent brand. Last tripod I'll talk about is this one. Tabletop tripod. You will not find a tabletop tripod for less than $40 or $50. This is a good deal. This has been on sale for about a month now at this price. So it's not a special Prime Day price. It's just they're calling it a Prime Day deal because the sale price overlapped with Prime Day. But this has been on sale for $29 for a couple of weeks now. Uh, this is great for tabletop photography, product photography, close-up photography like flowers and macros and bugs. Perfect tripod for that kind of thing. Um, and easily fits in your bag. It's no bigger than, say, a normal lens, right? Like a telephoto lens. I'm sorry, zoom lens. It's pretty compact. $29, very useful. And that's it. So I'm going to go to the chat section and we'll move on to some other items here. But if you have any questions about anything I talked about, I went at length on tripods because I feel like I'm perpetually shopping for tripods and cameras. But anyhow, Juliet says, thank you, back to work. Okay, thanks for coming in today, Juliet. You're probably gone already, but thanks for coming in. And the Leaf Photo OM1L plate, not a full plate, but great quality, much better price than RRS. Really? I haven't seen that one. Let me see if I can look that up. LPO-OM-1 L plate. Oh, you have to buy it directly from them, it looks like. So it's this one here. Let me get the link. Wow, that's a good deal. Let me give you guys, I'm not an affiliate or anything for this, but uh thank you so much, Hiker Dude. I didn't know that existed. 25% off site wide too. So definitely this is an excellent option. It's not a full plate, but this is a deal. Man, if I can get this for $35 and it's in the USA, so it's probably shipping from a USA warehouse, you won't have to worry about tariffs. That's a good deal. And don't forget the 20% off coupon that popped up. Thank you, Hiker Dude. That was a great recommendation. Uh, any good deals on the two? Okay, so I didn't see any, but let's just double check. This is okay, $44. All right, this is good. 40 bucks. Let me add this to my deal page. All right, so just quickly on SD cards. Almost every camera on the market today, with very few exceptions, you can get away with using this card for up to 4K video, even 8K video. All right? You don't need to spend money on the V90 cards. If we're talking about video, very few cases where you need a V90 card. The new A6700 Sony does have a very high bit rate mode where this V60 card may not cut it, but for video, this is going to work in 99%. I can do 8K video on my Sony A7R5 with this. I can do 8K video on my Fujifilm X-H2 with this card, no problem. I'm sorry, Alexa, show me the driveway. I might be getting a delivery today. Alexa, show me the driveway. Anyway, I guarantee that's a delivery. Yep.
Someone is at front door.
Hey, let's do an open box thing today. I just got a delivery. I ordered a couple of things last week. But let me finish my thing here with the SD card. For buffer capacity, OM1, OM1 Mark II, you will not see any difference between this and a V90 card when it comes to clearing your buffer. They're both going to clear in about, well, on the OM1, it's going to clear in about 15 seconds. OM1 and OM3, it'll clear in about 15 seconds. Versus, say, a regular V30 card will take about 45 seconds to a minute to clear. If you get a V90 card, you're not going to see any difference. It's still going to clear in 15 seconds. So, I got all kinds of alerts going off now. So, if you have an OM system camera, Panasonic Lumix, or just really just about any camera that can use a UHS-2, you need to look for this spec in your manual. UHS-2, V60 card, 99% of the time is going to be the perfect card for you. I recently did a video on, let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, episode 546. This video here. Oh, fucking ads. Where's the share button? So let me share this with you guys. This video has charts and tables in it for V90 versus V60 versus CF Express. And you'll see there's no difference. Very, very little difference, even on my Sony A7R5, between a V60 and a V90. The problem is a V90 card costs 3 to 4 times as much money for like a 1% difference. So you definitely want to stick to the V60 when you can. So this is an excellent deal. I'm going to give you guys the link to this one too, right in the chat section. There's that. And it's also on my deal page now. Okay, let's see. Sabrent as a brand is a very good brand also. Just they've been making hard drives and memory cards. They're more known in the hard drive SSD community. So I shouldn't call it a hard drive. They make SSDs, and they're very well known in the gaming community and PCs and laptops. So the fact that they make SD cards is not a leap for them. It's already in their wheelhouse, right? So you're not going to have a problem. You can see from the ratings here, 1,700 ratings, 4.6. So don't worry, you'll be fine. Okay, let me see. So how many tripods do you currently have? Do you have an inventory list of all of? No, I don't have an inventory list. Uh, I do have a lot of tripods though. A lot of them were cheap, like $16, $17. I haven't seen a $16 tripod deal in months. Now they're all $30 to $40. But yeah, I have a lot of tripods. I've been offered to review a lot of tripods and I turned them down because I'm looking for that Photo Pro. I was waiting for that Photo Pro. And Julio says he has that LPO plate. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. So you really like that. Okay, good. And then Marco also says, yes, you can trust Sabrin. So Marco has his own channel, Hot Hardware, does computer, laptop, electronics review. And he's been doing this his whole life. Okay. So if he says Sabrin's a good brand, you can trust Marco on that. If you don't trust me, trust Marco. But I've been in the computer business, or I was in the computer business many years ago. So I have a feel for the the more popular brands, right? And but I know Sabrin very well. So thank you, Marco, for sharing that. Um, all right, now let's talk about what I need to do is close all these windows down before my computer crashes. Oh, and let me get my box. You guys can look at the, let's see if that coupon comes back up if I refresh. No. Let me go get my box from the, before one of the porch pirates get it. Okay, I'm out. God. This has more of a, this has more of a product review kind of. I don't know what this is. This doesn't feel like an Amazon thing. But let's see what it is. Uh, or maybe it's something I ordered off eBay. I don't know. I keep spending money. I don't know what this is. This has a. This might be an eBay thing I bought recently, but I can't remember. X Meta, thank you so much for the advice on the Pentax. I ended up getting that K3 I showed you. Oh yeah, this is. Oh yeah. All right. This is a product review thing. So I asked them to send me this Godox, the V60. This is going to be a nice step up from a TT350, for example. Um, so it is smaller. There we go. Turn this baby on. So there's this. Where's my TT350? There's that. And then you can compare this to the V1. I don't know if I can hold these in a way that makes it easy to see the difference in sizes. If I can line them up, there we go. Nice. Ooh, I'm excited. But this is a Sony version, isn't it? Ah, I wish they would. It's hard to get the Olympus and Nikon and other versions of this. F and Sony. The problem with Sony versions, like if I got a Nikon or Canon or even Fuji version, I can use it on my Olympus camera just in full manual mode. This one I'll have to use off camera with my Olympus triggers. But Just to give you an idea, this is what it looks like on my OM3. All right, so maybe 2-3 weeks, I'll do a video review of this. But it's touchscreen and video light, relatively compact, lithium ion, looks good. Comes with a really nice case. Got a little carbon fiber, USB-C. What is this? Oh, diffuser. And I assume these are charging cables and things. All right, so the Godox V480 Sony version, it's going to be available in all of the mounts, but they always come out with Sony first, and that's what they send me. Just like this IT30, another Sony. I'm waiting for Canon, and there's no. They just emailed me this morning and said that the Olympus version, they don't have a date for that yet, but it's usually a couple of months later. Because Godox, they make Olympus stuff, but it's like the last one they do, Olympus Panasonic. Okay, I want to replace all my flashes with that one. I have the V1 and 863 to part with first. Yeah, yeah, that's a great little flash. It's just perfect. It's a little bigger than a TT350, so you'll get faster recycle times, and uh, so it's going to be great for macro, right? When you do macro with flash, focus stacking, bracketing with flash, that's going to be perfect. Well, we'll find out, but it should be perfect because I know my V1s are perfect in terms of bracketing with flash and all of that. Okay. And the TT350, yeah. So yeah, I use the TT350 all the time. As you saw, it was on my own 3. It's a little bit weak for doing focus bracketing for macro. The recycle times are a little bit slow, and I have to use very low power. But it's doable. It's doable with this flash. The V350 would probably be better. But the TT350, for whatever reason, maybe because mine is butt old, it it struggles a little bit with focus bracketing and flash. Let's see. And if you want a good quality SD cards and not expensive, look at the ProMaster V90. Yes, the ProMasters are a little bit more prevalent off the shelf. Uh, but online, I'm sure they have just as big a presence online. Let's take a look at one. See what the deal is. ProMaster. Oh yeah, I've seen these ProMasters. So let's do V60. V90 is just outrageous. I have a ProMaster actually. Yeah, I have this one. That's a 128. There's a 512, 256. So yeah, these are $60. I mean, that's a good deal. That's a fair price for a V60 car, but it's not like a Prime Day deal, right? $40 is a prime. Actually, I have it right here. I have the uh I have the ProMaster, but I bought these. I didn't buy this. I got this from the camera store, my local camera store, Ace uh, District Camera. When I bought my OM3, I asked for a free memory card to go with it, and they gave me this one, and it works great. No problems whatsoever. So thank you for reminding me about this. I forgot I had these, but it's not a $40 deal. It's $60. But if you want to go with these, there's no issues with these either. Okay. Thank you, Errol, for sharing that. And I didn't know Lehoy recommended those, but yeah, ProMaster makes good stuff. Uh, at least the memory card I know is very good, but they do tripods. I have a ProMaster monopod, I think, that extends out. It's air cushioned and all kinds of stuff. Uh, so they provide very good value for the money, I think, for the quality you're getting versus the price. The trick is you have to get it on sale, right, to get the very best deal. But if you're just buying stuff, you can trust ProMaster for the most part. I haven't seen anything really that I didn't like from them. All right, let's get into a new page that I have. Well, let me go back to my deal page, make sure I didn't miss anything. So we did all the lenses, adapters, tripods. We didn't really talk about, well, we talked about this flash. This is a good deal. I didn't see any great deals on bags or backpacks. All of the newer flashes, if you have a Nikon, Canon, Sony, newer costs about 30% less than Godox, and they're just as good in my opinion. So if you have not bought a full-size flash for your Sony, Nikon, Canon, and you want to save some money, the newer is really a good deal, especially now they're on sale here on Prime Day. So you'll just have to select. Now there's a pro version and a non-pro version. The pro version is on sale for the same price as the non-pro. So you might as well get the pro version. The key difference is the pro version has a stronger battery, has compatibility with Godox triggers, and also has better heat management. So you'll get ultimately over time, you'll get faster recycle times if you're using flash a lot. So like event photography. So you'll get longer and faster recycle times with the pro. If you're not a professional doing events, get the non-pro version, except today. Today, the pro version's on sale for about the same price. So you might as well get the pro version. They're the same size. Everything's almost identical, other than those couple things I mentioned. Okay, I don't see, oh, why is this 192? This was on sale for, man, this went up in price already. They must have sold out. This was $159 this morning, if I remember correctly. Damn it, I should have bought it when it was. This is still a good deal, but it's not 159. Now it's 192. This is still a good deal, but it's. Damn it, I missed one. You got to act fast on some of these, apparently. Okay, power bank. Uh, $16 for USB-C power strip with AC plugs. This is a no-brainer. I already have something similar to this. I don't know if I should get another one, but this really is great for cable management. If you saw the cables under my desk right now, it looks like spaghetti. But this helps temper it a little bit on my other setup in my studio. Something like this would save all the extra cables and everything. Okay. Oh, this monopod. I bought this monopod. I love this monopod. Flip locks. Okay. It also comes with the Arca Swiss plate quick release clamp. This is awesome. I'm using it on something else now, but let me show you where is it? Let me go get it real quick. This is a good deal. Um, I don't think this is the case that came with it. I don't think it came with a case. If I remember, it may have. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure this is the case for my other one. I had one of these before, but I sold it because somebody just was dying to have one. I put this whatchamacallit. Oh, I do have the quick release. So I have the quick release plate. This is like $40 all by itself. This quick release plate. Uh, but it lets me snap in very quickly any Arca Swiss compatible type, accessory. So I have the this tripod monopod gimbal. This is $60, but I found another one. It's probably the same thing for $35. This is great for birding and stuff. But what I like about this monopod, of course, it's very tall. It goes up over my head, okay, when I extend it all the way out. But it's how quickly I can convert this to a tabletop tripod. So I just attach it there, detach it there. So here's the monopod. And now I have basically a tabletop tripod with a ball head. I just loosen it here, and this is the ball head, right? So I use this for tabletop photography, macro photography when I'm in the field. I use this, but of course, because most of my cameras have Arca Swiss plates, they fit right into this clamp very quickly. And it just releases like that. Monopod is just another tool, right? Just like tripods. But having a dedicated monopod, unlike tripods that can convert to a monopod, having a dedicated monopod is much more stable and gives you really cool options like this, right? At least this one does, and it's 111 bucks. It's worth it. They have a carbon fiber version, which is like 200 grams lighter. Uh, I wouldn't spend the extra money for carbon fiber. Just get the aluminum one. It's not that heavy to begin with. Okay. Now, if I want to convert it back to a monopod, it's very simple. You just release that, pop it back in, and pop it back in here. And now I got a monopod with feet, right? So, yeah, highly recommend it. $111. Comes with a $40 quick release clamp. You just can't beat that deal. I think I actually paid a little more. I might have paid like $5 more. I can't remember. But I purchased this back in October. I've been very happy with it. All right. Let's see. Any other deals? Oh, here's the gimbal head that I bought. This works great. Takes a little getting used to, but if you don't want to, if you have like the 150 to 600 lens, you're gonna need something like this. Okay. Uh, there's the whole plate, and there's a little mini travel tripod here for 30 bucks. It's not on sale, but it's very compact. It's 30 bucks. So if you want a small tripod, it doesn't get very high, 55 inches max. So it's probably like 38 or 40 inches without extending the center column too much. It's already extended one length. I had something like this in a carbon fiber from Suray. I'd rather have this for $30. I paid almost $200 for my Suray uh, tripod, just like this one, but this one's $30, but it's not on sale. And XMeta says, still missing any replacement for my Vanguard Heralder 38 bag. They replaced it with some Alt Pro and then removed it from the portfolio. Great bag, but about 14 years old now, beaten, but still holds. Gosh, I'm not familiar with that bag, but Vanguard, I do have one Vanguard bag on my page here. I don't know if this is at all, and this is a good deal. It's a quality bag. It's pretty decent size. Looks to be about 14 by 16. Uh, do they give the dimensions? Yeah. So external dimensions, 10 by 6 by 8. Oh, so this is a little bit on the small side. Uh, yeah, this is a little bit on the small side. This is good for micro four thirds, but it's going to be a little tight if you're going to put a Pentax DSLR in there. I can tell you that based on the dimensions. Vanguard makes good stuff. You can see this is a quality bag, you know? It's just this one's a little bit on the small side. This one, all right, this is a decent size, a little bit thinner profile. But I'm just not familiar with the Heralder 38. Let me just look it up. So they replaced with some Ultra Pro and they removed it. Ultra Rise. Here's a review. Okay. So dimension wise, they don't give the dimensions. Why? B&H is probably discontinued, but dimensions will be here. 18 by 12. Okay, so you need something that size. All right. Oh, that's the box. Hold on. They don't have the dimensions for the bag. So the bag is probably 14 by 10 by 7 or something. 15-inch laptop. This is a decent sized bag though. If it holds a 15-inch laptop, it's going to be 16 inches wide at least. Man, I don't have anything like that here. But let me just take a quick look. And we'll do prime deals. These are all too small. Oh, this is on sale. Okay, I gotta add that to my page. This is a very good bag. And it's about the same size as the one you had, but that that bag's not gonna this bag for $35 ain't gonna last 14 years. I can tell you that. That's a pretty good deal. But the closest thing, let's see, Terrion Wandered is a good brand. Nomadic, 13 liter. Well, that's a little bit smaller, but that's pretty close. This one is too small. Wow, there's not much on sale here. The closest thing is this one, but this is 200 bucks. And it's got that sort of Peter McKinnon vibe to it, right? Because that's what it says, right? McKinnon. Looks like a nice bag, but man, 200 bucks. I don't know if this will last 14 years either. I don't know. Sorry about that, Meta. I don't see any deals on a good bag. We'll have to wait. I'll keep an eye out though for you. I'll keep an eye out. If I see a good bag, this bag here, I got to add to my list. So this bag here, uh, did I put it? I just had it right here. And I used it last week. Is that it? No, that's the low pro. Huh. I don't know why I can't find it. It should, oh, it's right here. All right, this one. I got this one, it was $25. But all right, so this bag here, this is probably a 5-year bag, all right? 5 years, if with regular use. I'm only using this like once or twice a month. This will probably last me 10 years. But if this is your only bag and you're going to use it for a while or use it on a regular basis, I give it 5 years based on the materials and everything. But this holds a lot of stuff, man. This thing is great. It's also zipper closed here for additional, protection. Velcro here, but you can cover the Velcro. I partially covered it, so I don't have to like make a ton of noise. Little business card slot. I put my microfiber cloth. Lots of nice little extra pockets here. There's a huge pocket here in the front. This expands out quite a bit, and uh, there's a pocket inside here. I mean, this is a great bag for $35. There's also a zipper pocket back here. I don't know what they claim on this, but this will hold a 15-inch, I believe. It'll at least hold a 14-inch. They say 13-inch. 13-inch tablet. Okay. 13-inch tablet. Yeah, I guess that's about right. It's also straps on the bottom for tripods. Um, but a friend, a lot of people I know bought this. So a friend of mine bought this for $25 when it was on sale. You'll never see this for $25 again. Let me just say that now. You can get it for 35. Get it now if you like this style. It's all canvas, very rugged material. Like I said, regular use, I give this 5 years. The reason I say that is because my friend uses this on a regular basis, right? He has a Nikon Z-series and his zoom lenses, and he carries everything in that thing. It's always overstuffed, and nothing is ripped or torn uh, on that bag, and he uses it a lot. Okay, and he's had it for as long as I have. When did I buy mine? Mine was August last year. So he's been using this almost a year on a regular basis. No problems. That said, I can see the wear and tear on that bag. I got a feel for it when I looked at it. And I'd say it's a 5-year bag. But for me, this is easily a 10-year bag. I'll probably give it away long before I get the 10 years. Uh, but this bag holds a lot of stuff, man. A lot. And lots of pockets. $35. Just just get it. It's on my deal page now. You won't regret it. You won't regret buying this bag for $35 ever. Even if it wears out in 2 years. Okay, you got a great bag for $35, but it's not going to wear out. This is about a 5-year bag. Okay. Oh, thank you, Sheree. How you doing, buddy? It's good to see you. 20% off for that lead photo thing. Okay. The Herald of D. You're funny. I can't wait to get my K3 in. I ordered that K3 I talked about. I ordered another lens. Let me ask you. I got the Sigma 17 to 50 2.8 non-OS version, so it doesn't have the stabilization, just the standard. I'm replacing my DA kit lens uh, with it. I mean, I looked at Pentax forums. They say it's a decent lens, but I don't know. What do you think about that lens? And you have the same one. Didn't come with. Okay, so it did not come with a case. When I bought the previous version of that monopod, it did. That's the case for it. I need to give it to the person I sold it to. I forgot. Uh, I forgot about that case. But thank you for the update. And Harold says, I own a Peak Design tripod, but recently bought a mini tripod for the Rolly Compact Traveler Mini M1. It is a piece that fits in your hands. Okay, let's look at what that looks like. Uh, this. Ah, yeah. Wow, that does look pretty solid. It's not bad though. $75 to get a branded one. So this has the twist lock legs, right? Oh no, yeah. So these twist and extend, I assume. Actually, it doesn't look like that. It looks like do these legs extend? It doesn't look like they extend. But no, they have to extend because they got the shim right here. So these are a little bit different to twist. They twist and extend all at once. Kind of like a paint stick, a painter's paint stick where you twist and extend it. That's how these tripods work. They're okay for small ones like this. If you're buying a taller tripod, I would not get twist and extend. Okay. The problem is they work themselves loose quite a bit because you're moving the tripod around a lot and they just work themselves loose. I can't tell you how many times my camera fell over you know, because of these twist locks. On a small tripod like this, you don't need to worry. How far is the camera going to fall? A couple of inches, right? But these taller tripods, man, that's a problem. All right, cool. Thank you for sharing that one. That's a nice little mini tripod. Uh, yeah, that's a good deal. $28, excellent deal. I have that 35 Terram bag and I love it. Oh, thank you, Wands, for sharing. Did you get it on the $25 deal when we did this like last year? Gosh, when did I buy that? It's August last year is the last time that thing was on sale. Uh, because I know a lot of people bought that when it was $25 last year, but we're not going to see that price ever again. And that's the one, very stable. Okay, very good. Yeah, you can extend it. So yeah, these are the twists, like we said, the twist and pull. All right. what we'll do here, talked about flash and lenses and these. I think I saw, let me see if there's anything in Canon. No, these are normal things for Canon. I just started that list. The Nikon, I think there's a couple of interesting lenses here for Nikon. Uh, of course, the Viltrox we talked about, but there's also a 7 Artisans 18 millimeter at 5.6. Is this autofocus though? I'm not familiar with this lens. So you guys take a look at this one, $71. This has got to be a manual focus. Full frame optical 7 elements. They don't tell you. And they don't show the lens. Yeah, this is manual focus. All right. I don't know. I wouldn't buy this. I need to take this off. Unless you really want a wide angle lens, man. I mean, you don't have to worry about focus so much with such a wide angle, but I don't see much use for that. I made these lists very quickly today. Yeah, the 50 f2, if this is a full frame, will be okay. This is an interesting lens. I have no problem with Viltrox. They've been making great lenses. $159. If you need a 50 millimeter budget lens for your Nikon full frame camera, I don't see how you can go wrong with this. When you look at the Nikon version, it's $500. You can get this for a third the price. That's a good deal. So out of all this stuff, I would get this. I would get this lens. This is a really good deal. The Nikon 28, of course, the Nikon 50 1.4, but man, if you get this 28 and this 50 together, both these Viltrox lenses, you're set. You are set, man, for any of these cameras. The grip for the ZF is on sale, $34. That's not bad. All right, let's go to the next page. I think I'm okay. I haven't talked about laptop deals. And one other thing, Ugreen, let's see if I can find it. This is a good deal. This one, I think that's the same one, right? All right, so let me close down some of these windows. All right, so the anchor, this is on my, not on my deal page. Yeah, this is on my deal page. This is a great deal. 24,000 milliamp anchor power bank, 140 watt USB-C. It's got 2 USB-C ports and 1 USB-A. The display. I have something very similar to this. I should have bought the Anchor brand, but it didn't go on. It went back to regular price, so I bought a generic one. This is an excellent deal. Little less power, 20,000 milliamp, but it has 130 watt portable charger max, 72 watt PD, more than enough to power your cameras. Certainly enough power to charge the batteries in your laptop. Uh, yeah, $59. And Ugreen is a very, very good brand. So I have no problems recommending this power bank. So if you need a power bank, this is a good deal. The only challenge is this one is what, $17 more? This is actually the better power bank, not so much because of its higher power ratings and more capacity, but you can get accessories for this. You can add a quarter 20 screw case, a case with a quarter 20 screw in it, and that makes it very, very useful for photography because now you can mount this anywhere that uses quarter 20 screw. So just to give you an idea, Anchor 737 case. Like this case here, right? There's a quarter 20 screw here on the back. Little SIM card holder here. And a pin for resetting. So cell phones and cameras, basically. But that little quarter 20 screw on the back that you can get just makes this more versatile, more portable, and able to use it in a lot of different ways. That the U-Green, you're not going to be able to do. With the U-Green one, you have to do, and I'll show you some options here. It's in my other page here, the little things that help. You have to get something like this that is kind of a clamp and has a quarter 20 screw on the back. But it's not as seamless as the Anchor power supply. The Anchor power supply is a very seamless solution, very neat and tidy. A few dollars more, it's worth it. So what I like about the U-Green though, this one in particular, this is a little better one. It's $10 more. It has the power cord built in, 100 watts. So this one here, you don't have to bring separate cables. You always have the cable built into the power bank. So I like this one. If you don't care about the cable being built in, you can get this one for $10 less. But the Anchor one that's $76, I think is ultimately a better solution in the long run because of this quarter 20 thread. So, and a protective case, right? Okay. Non-stick frying pan. You're funny. I said, I know a guy. If you're going to get a non-stick frying pan, you want to get the ceramic version, not Teflon. Get the ceramic non-sticks. A little bit less of a health hazard than the Teflon type. And got the bad like 6 months ago, $37. Very good for the price. Okay, so we're talking about the Terion, right? This Terion bag. Yeah, this is a great bag. What would you guys say? 5 years, right? With regular use. Is that the feeling you get, or am I way off? But I think 5 years regular use, this bag will be good. For me, it'll last probably forever because I'm not using it on a regular basis. This is another option for mounting a power bank. This uses a strap instead of a clamp. This is a strap. So you strap this around your power bank, and now you can attach your power bank with any quarter 20 thread. Some other different types of quick release plates, Nifty filters, power. Let's see, anything interesting in here? I have this one. This is a great power bank, $118. I paid $127 myself, and I thought I was getting a good deal. It's now $118. I I don't know if I put this on my deal page or not, but let me put that on my deal page. Um, I love this power bank. I love the display telling me how much power each port is. It's very good at diagnosing things and seeing if your device is charging the way it should. So I'll give you an example. My cell phone now, this cell phone is about 4 years old now, but the USB-C plug doesn't fast charge anymore. I can only charge at like 8 or 9 watts, where it used to charge at like closer to 20 watts. And I was wondering why the battery was like wouldn't charge quick, and I was able to easily diagnose that with this power bank because it was showing me 8 or 9 watts whenever I plugged the cable in. So it's good at diagnosing things when you know how much power a device is drawing, whether it's the device itself that's having problems, or if you're using the wrong cable or the cable's going bad. So there's been times where I've plugged things into the phone or into a device and it didn't charge. So I didn't know if the device was broken or the cable was broken. So I replaced the cable, then I could see the charge. And then do I have the correct cable? Because different cables have different power ratings. If you hook up most cables will do 60 watts. But if you want to charge your laptop or LED light that's like 100 watts, you need to get a 100-watt cable. And this device will show me if that cable is capable of drawing the wattage that a device might need. There's also an app that you can use with this device that'll tell you when your devices are done charging. So you'll get a notice on your phone. I don't use apps, so don't ask me about that. But it has all kinds of app features too, if you want to get into that. But I just like the fact that we have 440-watt USB-C ports in the front, 2 USB-A ports on the side, so 6 ports altogether. Little dial there on the side for rotating through different things. I just use it mainly because it's very compact. It's very small. I'd show it to you, but it's charging. It's running everything right now on my desk. Um, but I have it. I have it sitting there. I have it right here on my desk, showing me that I'm drawing. That my camera is drawing 5.3 watts to run the live stream. So I love these kind of things, right? And you can see from the thing I've purchased this a couple times myself. Okay, what are we at? We're at 2 hours. Okay, so the last thing, oh, Marco says, I love my Zwelling ceramic cookware. Ask them for Father's Day. Yeah, ceramic cookware is really good. All right, last thing I'm going to talk about are some laptops. Okay, this is not my area of expertise, as if anything is my area of expertise, but I did pick out some laptops here. Let's see if they're still on sale even. They're not even on sale anymore. They must have sold out. Let's see. Yep, Prime Day's over. Everything I added this morning was Prime Day special. Now they're not. These are still good deals. So if you're thinking, so I'm just going to talk generally, okay? If you're thinking about upgrading your laptop, don't ask me about desktops. If you're thinking about upgrading your laptop, this one has all of the features I'd be looking for in a new laptop for photo editing, even video editing to some extent. For photos, if you like to use DxO's PhotoLab Deep Prime or DxO Pure Raw or Adobe Noise Reduction, all of these AI tools, you need to have a dedicated graphics card. And it needs to be a minimum RTX 4060, minimum. If you're going to do any kind of photo editing with some heavy noise reduction AI tools. The processor is not that critical when it comes to photo editing. So I can settle for Core i7. Core i9 is better, but Core i7 is fine. Make sure it's at least, it has this letter right here, the letter H. Whatever processor you get, it needs to have the letter H if it's an Intel. Don't ask me about AMD. Get an Intel Core i7 or Core i9. with the letter H. That means high performance. This, because a lot of these chips have the letter U next to them. You want to make sure you get the one with the letter H. It can be H something, it can have another letter after that, but you want to look for the letter H. These are not the low power chips. These are the high power, high performance chips for the CPU. So you want to get that. You want to get the RTX. Ideally, 32 gig of RAM. RAM is pretty cheap. 32 gig of RAM, okay? Especially if you do video. But for photography, if you're working with thousands of images, 32 gig of RAM gives you a little bit of breathing room. It's a hard drive, 2 terabyte SSD, minimum. Well, let me rephrase that. 1 terabyte minimum, 2 terabytes is ideal to have internal on the laptop. The trick is, and I think the problem with this laptop is I don't think you can add an additional SSD internally. So once you get this laptop, you're gonna have to excuse me. You're gonna have to go and buy some external hard drive or external SSDs. But other than that, this is a perfectly fine laptop. Okay. Same thing with the RAM. You can't upgrade the RAM. But this is a laptop minimum 4 years. You're gonna get 4 years of life out of this minimum. If you don't care about upgrading that often, this is a good one to step up to. The other thing, this is a touchscreen, 400 nits, 100% sRGB. So this laptop has everything, okay, that you would need to have a really awesome photo editing machine. 400 nits is very bright. That's near HDR levels, standard HDR, not like the HDR 400, but this is like HDR 10 levels. If you care about those things, I don't care about those things. 100% sRGB, so it's going to you can get higher, you can get better monitor, you can get better screens, okay, for your laptop, but the price goes up exponentially. All right. This is the screen is what makes these laptops cost a lot of money, not the hardware like the, you know, GPU, CPU. Those things are pretty much rock bottom price as it is. But screens, man, if you want a nice P3 or high performance screen, yeah, you're going to pay a lot more. But anyhow, I can recommend this laptop at this price, but it's not on sale. But this is a decent price. Uh, the other thing I wanted to show you, okay, this is a good deal for an external SSD. 4 terabytes, Samsung, $218. Can't beat that. That's a good deal. Um, 4 terabyte internal SSD from Crucial. Crucial is a very good brand. This is a great deal. Okay, this is 7100 megabits, more than fast enough. If you get a laptop or have a laptop that you can add external, you can add an extra SSD into the laptop. This is a good one to get. So that's what I did with my laptop. Is it came with a 1 terabyte, and I added a 4 terabyte internally to the laptop, and that's where you're going to get the very best performance. And that's where I keep all of my images for the current year is internally on my laptop. The things like this, if you have to put all your photos externally on a hard drive like this, it's going to affect the overall performance. And it's going to take longer for you to cull through images. And, you know, if you're working with thousands of images, ideally you want to have an internal SSD. But if you can't have an internal SSD, you want to get one of these. Really, with external SSDs, USB 3.2 is fast enough. They do have like Thunderbolt and higher, faster external SSDs, but real world performance is not that much different. So I would just get this for $218. This is a good deal. Uh, yeah, this I should have bought this before. This was $159 earlier. This is gone. This has an OLED 4K display. Man, that was a good deal. That's too bad. Uh, the Triton Neo Ultra 7 RTX 4060. Yeah, no, the HP is a better deal. Sorry about that. My laptop, my laptop. Forget about my laptop section. All the prices have changed since this morning, and now now we're in that realm where you really have to shop the individual specs. It's better to go over to Marco's channel, Hot Hardware, or better yet, his website, hothardware.com, and pick something off of that website. Because my list, that's how fast things change in the laptop world. The hard drives and the SSD and stuff is good, but hopefully the baseline things I talked about for photo editing laptop makes sense. And those are the things you want to look for. 2 terabyte SSD with expandable SSD internally, sRGB 100%, if not better. 32 gig of RAM and RTX 4060 dedicated graphics card. These are the kind of the basic things you need. Yeah, the Asus Pro Art machine is nice. So that was this one here, right? Let's see. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. This is a nice system. This has the newer Ryzen 9 HX. See, this also uses the later H. 32 gig of RAM, 1 terabyte. That's kind of a minimum. RTX 4060. And you know the display, OLED 4K display, that's going to have a very high gamut. This was $2,000, mainly because of the display. The display is what's driving up the price, but they're out. This would have been pretty nice, though. Okay. So I just bought an Olympus MC14 teleconverter on Amazon Europe with $100 discount. I was waiting for a deal to come up. Very nice. Yeah, $100 off. That's a good deal. So it'd be what, 246 or I can't remember. I paid $180, I think, for mine, but I bought it from a Japanese Amazon. And Marco says, I recommend poking around for a Core Ultra 200 series or Ryzen AI 300 series if you're a creator. You're going to want the NPU for the AI acceleration of many apps. Yeah, that's kind of a new thing, right? These NPUs. Uh, I mean, things are changing so fast. I can't keep up with prices, let alone the technology itself, right? And U is ultra low power, high is high performance, HX is the highest performance. Yeah, so the letter H, if it has a letter after that, even better. But letter H is key. I'm trying to keep it kind of simple, right? If we have a shop here in the Netherlands called Action, I bought a very good power bank. It's a Sitecom power bank, 20 watt, 10,000 milliamp. Yep, $13. Yeah. Yeah, the smaller power banks are very useful. I use those a lot too. Uh, mostly to charge like, what do I use it? Yeah, mostly to charge like my phone and stuff. I use the smaller power banks and my camera batteries. If it, you know, yeah, my camera batteries, in camera and out of camera, I charge using the smaller power banks. The larger power bank I use for when I take my laptop on site. or I use it for my LED lighting. All right. I think we're good. So everyone, that's all I had for today. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you can use my affiliate links, save a couple bucks. I make a couple bucks. And I do these every Tuesday, Prime Day or not. We look for deals. Like I said, you can find deals when it's not Prime Day. The very best deals I ever got have not been on Prime Day. But today, the Prime deals are special. So even if you're not buying camera gear, if you click on any of my links and then buy, say, a ceramic cooking set, I'll still get credit for that. So anytime you guys want to buy on Amazon, if you use my affiliate links, it's a great way to support the work that I do here and to keep me going. Because, like I said, I turn the ads off on my live streaming, uh, so that donations and memberships, 99 cents a month. I'm going to be doing my photo editing live stream this Sunday, so I'm going to put that up for the Photolab DxO users, and then I'll be back on Sunday for regular photo chat where we just talk about anything. So you guys, thanks again so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see you guys back on Friday for the photo editing, if not sooner. You guys have a great week, uh, and I'll see you again soon.